Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is a profile on Miss Emma Wisdom. And of course, Miss Wisdom is the publisher of Post Oak Publications here in Nashville, Tennessee. And Miss Wisdom, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here.
You know, I think you've got a very, very important topic this morning to talk about publications and African Americans involved in publications and some of the other things that we're going to talk about. But let's start it off, Miss Wisdom, by having you to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important, and eventually leading you as a publisher of Post Oak Publications here in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll do that, and then we'll get into some of your many publications. Some of them you've got displayed here, but we'll get into that later on. But first, let's talk about Emma Wisdom and her background, education, and some of the things that brought you to that particular spot this morning.
Okay, I am originally from Texas. I was born in a little small town of 1,100 people called Summerville, Texas. And to give you an idea of that location, it's about 15 miles from College Station in Bryan, Texas, and about 32 miles from Prairie View College. And many people know about Prairie View. In fact, at one time, Tennessee State University used to play them some years ago. So that's where I was born. But in addition to that, I am also what is known as a military brat. My stepfather was in the Army, and we moved around quite a bit. And consequently, I lived in several different places, which I credit now to helping me in the sense of understanding people and meeting people, because we moved quite frequently, and you couldn't sit back and wait to make friends. You had to go out and make friends in your new home, wherever that might be. So I really lived in several places in Texas: Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, and consequently ended up in North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I graduated from high school, got married, and ended up in Tennessee. So I'm a transplant
Tennessean, very
to
good.
Tennessean, and have lived on the East Coast in several places where my husband worked. So I really finished high school in North Carolina, came to Tennessee, and I've had several careers in my lifetime. You know, years ago, people used to get on one job and stay and retire and get that gold watch. Well, that's not happening anymore, and I guess in that respect, I was sort of ahead of my time, because the first career I had was as a cosmetology. I went to cosmetology school and did hairstyling for a number of years before I decided to go to college. So when I went to college, my first college that I attended was Austin Peay State University. And everywhere my husband moved and everywhere he worked, if there was a college anywhere nearby, I went. So consequently, I ended up, however, graduating from Tennessee State University. And I tease and tell my children that my transcript over at TSU is the longest transcript on record, because
you were persistent, though.
Persistent. That is something that I had no idea as growing up that was going to be a very important quality to have.
Yes.
Because from the very first time that I took a college course until I received my bachelor's degree from Tennessee State, it took 29 years. So that tells you that you have to have persistence. Not only do you need desire, but you must have determination. Not only do you need all of those, but you must be disciplined. And I learned those things along the way at different stages in my life, but all of them have really paid off because I was just persistent enough and had that stick-to-itiveness that I was going to finish. And the funny thing is that I actually finished my coursework along with my daughter, who was a student at Middle Tennessee State